Welcome back, Future Warriors.
If you aren't watching us on YouTube right now, then you are missing out on some super fun decorations that we have. If you didn't already know, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and it is a super big holiday here in Waterloo. Waterloo Warriors love to celebrate.
And another thing to look forward to is our March open house happening on March 22nd. And Amon and I are actually going to be in the Modern Languages building, where you can come and meet and greet us, take some selfies, we can sign some autographs if we have some time. And if you want to be featured on our podcast, you absolutely have that chance, and we look forward to meeting all of you there.
Yeah, we have a super fun episode for you today. We're talking all about student life, and we're going to have 3 amazing current students on to talk about their favorite memories here at Waterloo. But before we do that, let's talk to Dennis and ask him what his favorite memory is here at Waterloo.
Great question. So I've had so many great memories being a student here at Waterloo. One of the core ones that I remember is joining intramural volleyball, and I've done that for a couple of years now. It's been a great opportunity to just take some breaks from all the academics, meet some new friends, make some connections, get active. And we were really, really close to trying to get that championship title, get first place, and get that intramural champion t-shirt. Unfortunately, we came up just a little bit short in the semis and placed 3rd. But overall, it was a great experience. It was an awesome time, and I love playing with all those people. But Mon, I gotta ask you, what are your favorite memories from being a student?
Yeah, so my favorite memory is probably in my 3rd year of my first day. I remember walking around campus and finally feeling like this was my home rather than my home back home. It took me a little while to get into it because I'm a little anxious and love my family a lot, but I remember finally feeling like this was, my true home. When I walked back home and saw my roommates that night and sat with them in the living room and just was really grateful to get to live with them and soak in the student experience here.
Love the core memories, yeah. And if you want to learn all about the other experiences that other students have, definitely don't want to miss this episode. So let's get right into it. And we finally have our 3 amazing student guests here to talk about their student experiences at the University of Waterloo. Thank you so much for being here and taking the time out of your day to get to know a little bit more about your student experiences and share that with our amazing audience, because that really is the best way to learn about the student life and the student experience that we have at Waterloo. So maybe just a quick intro. Maybe we'll start from left to right.
So my name is Nadi. I'm in my 4B term of Arts and Business. They, them pronouns.
My name is Timarol. I'm my 4A of Urban Planning, and I use he, him pronouns.
My name is Rachel. I use she, her pronouns. I'm currently my 4A of Financial Analysis and Risk Management.
Nice, a little bit of or 3 of the faculties that we have, so that's awesome.
Awesome. Okay, so now that we know a little bit about you guys, let's get right into some of the questions. So my first question is, what was your guys' impression of student life at Waterloo before you got here? And how did it change once you got here?
If it changed at all.
If it changed.
I think one thing I always heard when I was applying to universities is that Waterloo was a little bit less on the party side. It was very low key. There's not a lot happening. And I think as soon as I got into university, that perspective very much changed. And there's a quote that people or the ambassadors always used to quote, which is that university is like high school but 10 times bigger. You will always find your people. Yeah. So Waterloo's not the kind of place that the party is going to come to you, but if you know what you're interested in, or if you just want to find something to be interested in, there's always a place to find it. Exactly. So there's tons of extracurriculars, tons of the social circles you can find, and I have not found it really lacking of a social life. So
there you go. Yeah. That's awesome.
Absolutely, I like that. You just have to seek out whatever you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think I'd say the same. I did also have the thought that Waterloo was going to be more on the academic, serious, not too crazy side, which I didn't mind because immigrant parents go to school for school, not for making friends and having fun. So I was my parents will love this. But then when I came here, it was I immediately I also started during COVID, so I immediately found my group, and we kind of just, because we were in our own small social bubble, we made it what it was. We had our own parties and our own fun. So I think it depends on your personal vibe and the people you meet.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'd say the same. I definitely thought it was going to be a bit more intense, but also I'm an international student, so I didn't really know what to think about university life in Canada in general. So yeah, but I thought it was intense, especially because Waterloo is known for like CS and all that stuff. But no, I think whenever I go to like events and everything, and then there is definitely social life here, like you said.
Yeah.
And then I just as like an event organizer, sometimes I also volunteer for mascot. It's really nice to see like the people, the students here, just being so proud for being like a student at Waterloo. So yeah, I think it's definitely changed. It's not as intense as I thought it was.
Yeah, for sure. And I think people forget that like the city itself, like there's 3 major post-secondary institutions here. So like it's a student city, and so there's always like something to do if you're looking for it.
Exactly. And there's like 2 pretty decently like large malls. There's a lot of different plazas and things to get involved with, whether it's like indoors, outdoor activities. There's like a Chicopee ski hill just like right by. So if you enjoy the snowboarding and skiing aspect, that's huge. So it really is just like what you said. It's like you just gotta find your group. You got to try and like just put yourself out there. And that really is what the university experience is all about. Same thing when you're trying to find jobs. You got to put yourself out there just like you do with friends. Rachel, you said you're an international student. Which country are you from?
I'm from Indonesia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, quite a far.
This might be a little bit off topic, but like why Waterloo out of I guess all the options that you had?
I guess co-op.
Yeah.
I think I really thought that being able to get that experience while you're still in school would be so valuable when I enter like the workforce afterwards. And really, I think there's a lot of soft skills, technical skills that I've learned through my class that I didn't learn throughout like the study terms I had here. So I think that's why.
You're happy.
That's why I'm here.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Nadia, are you also an international student?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I said immigrant parents. They're not immigrants. They are in Nigeria. I and my sisters are here.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you like being here?
It's colder.
Yeah, it's much colder.
There's no winters in Nigeria, so like coming here, I think one day I saw snow. I was like, oh my gosh, and then next day I was like over it. I was like, it's too cold, sticky, it's gross. I don't want it anymore. But like it is a good experience. Like I think I appreciate coming here. Like the education is definitely a lot different than I would be getting if I was back home. I wouldn't have been able to meet the people I know now or know everything I know about myself if I didn't come to Canada. So
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Then maybe next question, moving on. How did you meet your first, let's say, group of friends in university? Was it kind of through clubs? Was it through class, lab, residence? How was that journey of finding your first friend or first group of friends that really allowed you to step foot into a whole bunch of other experiences on campus?
I've got a bit of a fun story.
Yeah.
This is on residence. And so this is 2021, so we're still kind of being hybrid.
Yeah.
But there was, as soon as everybody moved in, that same night, there was a group of people on the floor below us that just started knocking on doors. Just
really?
wandering around, door by door, knocking on everyone's door, and just kind of seeing, hey, nice to meet you, for like down the hall. Do you want to come meet more people? And then they just went like floor by floor, door by door. I think by the end of it, there was a good like 20 of us.
Oh, really?
Masked up and trying to social distance in the UWP halls. And we all just kind of went downstairs and outside. And it's like nice to see everybody. We're trying to build kind of a bit of a social circle.
Yeah.
So that was great. That's how I met my first friends there, and then have had kind of tons of different friends and communities since then.
Of course.
I feel like there's like no like social rules in the first 2 weeks of university. Like you can knock on anyone's door,
Yeah.
walk into anyone's room. Well,
Yeah.
not as long as you're but like it's a very like everyone's super open to making friends, which is like so new because like as a 18-19-year-old, I feel like you're kind of used to the high school life, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think if you kind of give into it, it's very natural just because everyone's new at this. Everyone's kind of wanting to make more connections, make more friends, find new experiences. So people are very open to it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I started during COVID, so like everyone was social distancing. All the rooms were single rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Like you would go around knocking on people's doors, but it was very like
People were still a bit.
yeah. I'm on your floor there. I just came to say hi. I'm on my way. But like luckily I knew like a couple people from my high school that actually came here. So like
That's awesome.
I had like 2 friends that I was able to start university with, and like we met other people kind of just like in the cafeteria or like outside or just like roaming around because like everyone was just stuck on residence.
Yeah.
So it was just like roaming around residences and seeing who's there, and then being like, "Hello, I am me. Who are you? Let us talk."
Yeah, I mean, similarly, I also met my first group of friends during residence or in residence. I'd hoped to meet them through orientation, but I had an online orientation.
Yeah.
So, with students with online meetings, they don't really turn on their cameras.
Yeah,
So the
true.
people I talked to during orientation, I have no idea what they look like till now. But yeah, I met my first group of friends in residence. I was in Village 1. And so just with the floor, with the other girls at the floor, you just bump into them sometimes. Some people actually just, like you said, like knock on doors and they're like introduce themselves. That's how I met my first group of friends.
There you go.
I actually met my first group of friends. So like for my first year, like September, October, I was very like nervous, very like kept my head down, kept to myself. So I didn't really make initial friends. And one day, like in November, I walked into my law class and I was like, I need to make a friend today. So I sat next to this girl and I just started talking to her. Then as we were walking out of that class, she asked me if I had anywhere to live for the next year. I was like, no. And she was like, okay, do you want to live with me? I was like, sure. So I ended up like meeting all of and there's 5 of us roommates total. So I ended up like meeting all of them, and like they introduced me to like my entire group of friends basically, and I still live with them to this day, and now they're my closest friends. But it was a very interesting way for us to meet, and we're instantly like attached to them. So yeah, that's nice.
Still how like one kind of experience or one interaction can create like so many more like down the road. So that's kind of cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, there's so many different ways to make friends. Like literally one little conversation can lead to like a whole network, which is really nice.
Yeah. I started 2019, so just before COVID happened. So I had in-person orientation, and that's how I met my first friend at university. So it was during orientation week. We were having a lot of fun. We were doing some games and activities. And then it was just like, hey, what program are you in? What program are you in? And like I was with the Faculty of Science. So I was kind of mixed with some like biomed people, which was my program, biology, honor science. So I kind of got to mingle with some other students, but then I was really talking to the other biomedical science students because I would be having classes with them and stuff. So that's how I got to know some of my best friends today. And like we still chat, we're still friends today. And one of my other friends is now who did biomedical sciences. Now they're doing teachers college as well. So now they're moving on to some other things. But yeah, a lot of great ways there.
So we've talked about a few different ways that we can meet people, residents, orientation, just talking to someone in your class. But what are some other ways that you guys have found community and made friends on campus kind of throughout your time?
I think like for me, like I've been part of the African Student Association since my first year. So I joined as like a first year rep when it was still online, and I was like the only first year rep there. I guess it was like me and this other girl, but I stayed with the team longer than she did. So like just because they kept pulling me back in, and I was like, sure, why not?
Why not?
And then I was able to like get like close to a lot of people through the team, not just on the team, but just like members that come out to the events and things. So yeah, that is probably like the my second home, if I call it that. Yeah.
It's beautiful that like clubs and societies can create such bonds.
Yeah, I love that because there's also like over 200 clubs on students on campus for students to choose from. Like some of which there's cheese club, there's like lettuce eating club. You have like it was actually started by an Eng student. So what they did was like it's like once a semester, a group of students come together. They just see who can eat lettuce the fastest. And then it's like a eating competition. Right? And then whoever eats it the fastest, they're crowned head lettuce for the semester. And their only responsibility is to organize the next competition for next semester to see who will get crowned the next head lettuce.
That's
or
so
if they're going to be the reading champion. So what else is there? There's like so much. There's like UW Hip Hop Club. There's like a lot of dance clubs. There's
so
acapella groups. Like there's so much things. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say just exactly on that. I've gone through a lot of different communities. I think I started mostly in martial arts, and that was like purely coincidental. My roommate and I were sitting in the Grand Commons, I think, by UWP, and we just saw a poster on the wall. It's like, hey, come out to free practices for a kendo club.
Oh, really?
And made my way out there and then stuck with them for just a little bit over a year. Wow. And you get through the whole process of, you get your robes, get your armor. It's like very, very cool.
That's so cool.
That's where I found most of my friends in like their first year. Then second year, so mostly to karate. I started going to karate a lot. And after that, it was exactly UW hip hop and the dance scene in
There we go.
Waterloo. I always loved K-pop, and that's part of the reason actually I came to Waterloo was we had a super well-known K-pop crew that competed internationally.
Oh, really? I didn't
at
even know
Waterloo.
about that.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah, that was pretty cool. So I took some of their tutorials, met a lot of friends there, and then dance has pretty much been my main thing
That's
since
cool.
then.
Yeah, that's cool.
For me, I am involved in a lot of I'm involved in the Mathematics Student Society, MapSoc. And then I've also been an orientation leader for the past 3 years. I'm hoping to continue again this year. And then also Faculty of Math Ambassador, just through attending the events and mingling with other people. That's how I've met most of my friends now.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I also forgot. I also was an orientation leader.
Yeah.
I was part of the O team last year. I don't know why I keep completing. It was a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
So it was like 9 months. So
Yeah.
it's not easily forgettable.
You're so involved in so much.
Yeah, there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's so much to do and there's so many ways to meet people, which is amazing.
The transition from high school to university can be a big one for most students. So how do you balance like having a good student life as well as academics, finding jobs through co-op, like all the responsibilities that you have as a student? How do you manage that? And what tips or advice do you have for maybe some future students?
I think it is a constant balancing game.
Yeah.
I think since first year, it's very much been some terms I've been super on top of everything, have my Notion page organized right from the top of the term, have my like timelines and Gantt chart. And it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And then the next term, I just get a little bit too relaxed
Yeah.
and then indulge in clubs a little bit too much, and then starts struggling to keep up a little bit. So I think it's very much constant reflection, constant figuring out what works for you. So if Notion's not your thing, try Google Calendar. If that's not your thing, I found sometimes nothing works better than pen and paper.
Yeah.
Right? So just figuring out your tools, getting organized early, I think is super important so that you're not just bombarded with things halfway through the term.
Exactly.
And then just making sure you keep that balance of social in your life too,
Yeah.
because it's hard to get through everything without having your social circle and your people to hang out with and your way to decompress.
Exactly. That's huge. Yeah. I always talk about, like, I always tell students the biggest thing that you can do is just like diversify yourself when you're in university and to take a break from all the academics, whether it's through clubs, through sports, hanging out with friends, chatting, whatever you got to do. It's always good to have that balance there. And then the good thing too is, like, I guess if you're in a whole bunch of clubs and you start realizing like, oh, maybe I joined a little bit too much, or like this is taking too much of my time, most cases, like, nobody's going to get mad at you if you have to drop a club or just say, hey, I'm going to take a little bit less responsibility in it, to make sure that everything balances. So there's no like pressures for anybody as well.
And do you guys have any advice for someone who's maybe coming into university and is a little bit nervous about like making friends or the social scene?
I'm very introverted, so like this is also something I struggled with and was really nervous about when I was coming in, especially since it was like COVID, everyone was online, like no one could at least interact with anyone. I think like the most important thing like I try to tell or like I try to convey to students is like everyone is nervous. Everyone is as nervous as you, if not more nervous. And yeah, you might meet some people that are not nervous and more excited, but like that's like you're gonna get a variety of like people, and I think it's just trying not, you don't have to hide the nervousness. I think like during orientation, like one thing I would always tell students is like own the nervousness. If you're nervous, go up to someone and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous, are you nervous?
Yeah.
If they're not nervous, be like, you're not nervous, why aren't you nervous? You know, like just play around with it, like because it's very hard, like if like in the first, like especially the first month of school, if you like keep yourself in your bubble, it's very hard to like get yourself out of that later on. So I think like just if it's stepping out of your comfort zone, if it's like if you don't like going to big groups, maybe find like a smaller event you could go to, or like just chilling in like a lounge space and saying hi to someone who comes in. I think there are multiple ways that you can like meet people on campus, and just because one way is more popular doesn't mean that that's the only way.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also think you're bound to kind of find your people. So making sure that you, like, not to get disappointed if, like, maybe the first group of friends wasn't your, like, forever. Like there's always like more opportunities to make new friends and explore different avenues, like different clubs, to make sure you have the same interests or whatever it is. Like you are going to find your people. It's a huge school, so there's people for everyone. And so we're gonna finish off our formal questions with one last one. This is a fun one. What would you say is your most memorable or funny experience that you've had with friends here?
It's like a start. So I think the most memorable would be back in fall 2021, winter 2022, my very first winter here in Canada, and all my other dorm mates on my floor, they knew that this was my first winter, the first time I was seeing snow. And so one day they just, one of the girls knocked on my door and then asked me if I had gone tobogganing before. And then I said, no, I have no idea what that is. And then they just told me to I wore their ski pants, and then they took me to Sif Field, or like right next to it where there was a hill. Usually there's a lot of goose in the summer. It's winter, so there's a lot of snow. It was perfect for tobogganing. And then they stole these corrugated plastic signs, like the lawn sign.
Oh, okay.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah, usually it has like for ways like this is Village One, whatever. They
Oh,
stole
yeah.
those, and they brought it with to this field as well, and then we just sled down that hill. I wore like boots that weren't appropriate for that, and so I was sliding down the hill and fighting for my life. But that's what made it memorable.
That's so
Yeah.
sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, one of the most memorable, like, experiences is I'm always going to keep coming back to African Student Association.
Yeah.
Because, like I said before, they're, like, my second home.
Yeah.
But we have, like, an annual showcase. It's called Traces. And not last year, but the year before that, for some reason, we decided, let's make a feature-length movie to show at this event. Spoiler alert, we did not finish. We showed like maybe 15 minutes of the film and then finished editing it later and then put it out. But from writing the script to like filming to like just being together and like with those guys, like the entire process, it was like we were all stressed out the entire time, but because we were like together, we would like make the most of it. You know, we would like burst into song on set, like when we're taking a break, or like order food for everyone, or like we would just like have like days where like we're not filming anything and we just all come and like hang out and like just do something like relaxed. Like, and that group that we filmed with, like they're like I'm close to like most of them. Like that is like my second family away from family.
Oh.
You know? So like just that it was very traumatic. Just from like we were like the entire time we were like, why did we think we would be able to do this? Like we cannot finish this 1.5 hour film in 3 months. So it was like very stressful, but like because like we made the most of it, it was really fun, and like we all look back on it now like laughing.
Yeah,
at,
laugh
like,
at it. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're laughing at it, but you know, at the moment we were not laughing.
Yeah.
It's good to look back on it and be like, that was so silly.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, I think absolutely just seconding the kind of your second family, your second home here. For me, that's very much the dance community. And I don't think there's any one experience that stands out in my mind in that kind of highlight reel of university so far, but it really is all the small times. So when I got onto our competitive hip hop team, fall 23, it's really just hanging out after practice and going for food and then just practicing some more after, or just studying together. Just all of the small moments that made that term and made some of my best friends now. That's what it was all about.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure. I always say like some of my favorite moments are like staying up till all hours of the night, like playing cards or just like
Yeah.
laughing together or being like ridiculously loud in SLC. Like there's no need for it, or ordering food. Like it's so true. Like the small moments are what make it here.
I think it's time that we do a little game now to wrap up our little episodes. So what we'll do is a little rapid fire question game. So Amon and I are just gonna say questions as fast as we can, just rapid fire, and then you just tell us your answer like as fast as you can. and we'll get the momentum, we'll get the pace going. All right. So, favorite sport to hang out on campus, or sorry, favorite spot to hang out on campus.
SLC.
E7 second floor.
God, E1.
What's the best food to try near the university?
Oh.
I was gonna say Shot Time, but it's closed now
Oh.
because of the M4 construction.
Oh.
Yeah, Shot Time, Easy Bites.
Yeah, Tataba is great. I would say Shinwa. It's in the University Plaza.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
That's a good
Yeah,
call.
it's amazing.
I'm gonna say Myeongga. Also right on
Oh.
Res 1.
Okay. Favorite place to eat on campus?
Environment Student Lounge.
Teriyaki experience.
Oh, in SLC?
In SLC,
Yeah.
I actually really like going to like CMH or V1 and the
Mm.
cap.
I want to give a shout out to Liquid Assets Cafe in Hancock. Getsu.
Oh, their soup is really
do
good.
have
And the
great
garlic
soup.
bread too.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
What's the most underrated activity to do in the city of Waterloo?
Oh, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's a there's like a pinup arcade
Oh,
like
yes.
in like the Laurier Plaza.
Yeah.
I've been there once and it's actually like amazing. Like
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
a lot
And it's
of
cheap.
cool-
Like, I don't know.
So cheap.
It's
It's
so
like
cheap.
$10
To get in.
and just
Play whatever you
as
want.
long as you want. Either
Yeah.
they're not gonna kick you out. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I love it.
Exactly.
First thing that comes to mind for me is very much just wandering around Waterloo Park.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
classic.
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It has like the not a petting zoo. It's like a
It's,
like a
you know,
farm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the new boardwalk and everything.
Yeah. And then they got the lights on for Christmas, wintertime. Yeah. Okay. Which faculty has the best mascot? Are we going to be biased here, or are we going to...
Oh, best mascot.
I gotta say science.
Cobalt,
Like-
there we
I
go.
mean,
That's
alright,
pretty
so like
cool.
the first one that came to mind was like,
Yeah.
you know. I love Horsey.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Horsey,
Yeah.
yeah.
Horsey, you rub his nose.
Yeah.
Are we sticking with the pink tie, or are we...
I guess I have to say picky. That's like a lore that's yeah.
Okay, where's the best place to get cheap coffee?
Environment Student Cafe.
There you go.
I mean, the cheapest coffee on campus is at Flock Stop, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh, is it?
it's like $1
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, it's really cheap.
Wow. I don't drink coffee.
Okay.
Best place to take photos on campus.
I was gonna say LinkedIn Bridge.
Literally thinking of the LinkedIn Bridge.
Everyone
Everyone goes to the E7 tunnel bridge to take their LinkedIn photos. It's like a staple.
It's a staple. Funny thing is, my LinkedIn photo is that.
No, yeah, that's the only place that comes to
On the mix there, the EV3 green wall.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That is
It's a live wall
Speaking
too.
of green walls, there is the green wall in CMH now as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Lots of spots for LinkedIn headshots.
So many
Yeah.
spots for LinkedIn.
Okay, what's the best event held on campus?
I'm biased. Choices, you know, African
Go for it.
I think the most broad answer would be orientation. It's
Mhm.
just such a
There you
magical time.
Yeah. Everybody's in that same like
Exactly.
orientation. Yeah.
And like the headspace you get
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
orientation.
it's like
for all
orientation.
the
Yeah.
leaders.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Nobody's thinking about school. Yeah. Everybody's just
No.
like
Yeah.
here to have fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say orientation too. Like the Wusa carnivals are always fun.
Yeah.
like Welcome Week and all. Like
Yeah.
they always have like the brunch.
Yeah,
like
brunch,
carnival. It's fun.
the bingos as well.
Yeah.
Best residence on campus.
Which one?
I lived in CMH, so
Okay. There you
Okay.
go.
CMHCWP.
like I'm biased.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the best club on campus?
Oh.
UW hip hop.
Christian Association.
Do it.
I'm gonna be biased.
That song?
Yeah. Just the clubs we're already a part of.
Yeah.
No one said lettuce club.
Oh yeah, Lettuce Club, you know,
Yeah.
Cheese Club. I love
Cheese
Cheese
Club.
Club. Yeah.
Just was pretty cool.
Craziest thing you've seen on campus. And
Oh my
you
gosh.
like craziest
There's
thing.
this, guy that's like you just see him randomly, not even just on campus, but just in the city. He has like his longboard, and he's always wearing like zebra print and
Yep.
cheetah print and like tight leggings, and it's a sight. I love it. I love seeing him because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's him. I don't know what to call him. It's him.
Just local lore.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it must have been 3 years ago now, there was on Reddit, this guy just posted that he was gonna run around in SLC wearing nothing.
Oh, I saw that
Oh my
Reddit
gosh.
post.
Everybody crowded the SL.
And I think like he didn't show
Didn't
up.
show
or
up.
something.
Yeah, a bunch of other people.
I feel like I was gonna say that one too, but I didn't know. I think Crazy Cool was Animusic, the Animusic ensemble. 'Cause you just kind of walk past. They started playing where the bomb shelter used to be.
Oh yes.
Yes. And you kind of don't expect it, and you see people dressed up in maid outfits. So then music coming from it says, "What is happening right now?" And you go inside, and they're like, Animusic is really, really.
They're actually
they're really good.
good.
So,
You wouldn't expect it,
yeah.
but they're actually really good. I mean, I love anime, so it's like
yeah. They set up a whole like cafe in there. Got like had people going around taking orders.
Really?
It was great.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna walk into.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Answer this one as quickly as you possibly can. Water, water, water.
Lulu.
There we go. Killed it. Thanks. That was an awesome episode. Thanks for being part of it, sharing your own student experiences. I'm sure our audience members really valued and appreciated that. So what we'll do is we'll just hit that center camera, just give them a quick little wave, little thank you, and then we'll see you on the next one, Future Warriors. Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode, Future Warriors. We hope you got a good look at what it's like to be a student here at Waterloo.
And don't forget to come out to our March open house happening on March 22nd. And if you haven't registered for it, the link will be in the description. Come say hi. We'd love to meet you.
If you'd like this episode and you would like to hear more from our students, you can visit our Ask a Warrior webpage. You can connect with students in any faculty and even request to be matched with someone in the same program that you're interested in. And if you'd like to talk to a recruiter, email us at liaison@uwaterloo.ca.
And if you want even more student life at Waterloo, follow us on Instagram at @UofWaterlooFuture.
Please rate the podcast on Spotify or like it on YouTube and leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you think of the episode. And if you have any other questions you have, we'd love to answer them in the next one.
See you in the next one, Future Warriors. Bye.
Bye.